This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Shanta. Shanta is an entertainer, but she also loves to be entertained, which is why she has Flow TV brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It's great for busy Shanta because she can control the time she watches her favorite shows, play back from the start in case she missed it, or even record with cloud video recording. And with her Flow services bundle, enjoys much more for much less. Visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994 or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon news update for Friday, April 15th. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. Finance Minister Chris Sinckler is dismissing his critics who agree with the recent downgrade by international ratings agency Moody's. Addressing the annual lecture of the Financial Services Commission last night, Sinckler said government remains focused on returning the country to economic growth. He also noted that Moody's has agreed with the performance of the economy in its recent report.
All of which I said in a speech to the Parliament of Barbados in the estimates where I spoke for 2.5 hours outlining the government's economic program and the strategy for going forward. Still, we had people who come back and say, the Minister of Finance shall speak and explain what his government's response to Moody and what government's economic plan should be. But all of what I said, Moody was quoting. Moody's agreed with the government that a sustainable fiscal deficit should be around 2% of GDP or less. And that it stated, and that, ladies and gentlemen, again, is stated government policies.
However, Sinckler says he disagrees with Moody's on the pace of reaching the fiscal targets.
It has to be done at a pace and in a manner that does not destroy the social fabric of Barbados or compromise the economic stability of the country. Our levels of foreign reserves remain in excess of 12 weeks of imports and are more than adequate to protect our fixed exchange rate. Furthermore, in the next few months, the reserves will be getting a welcome boost from a source to be declared shortly. And they will not be borrowed funds. I can tell you that. And of course, during the year, other public and private inflows will come.
Government's multi-million-dollar cane industry restructuring project has been temporarily suspended. That's because the High Court has ordered the Freundel-Stewart administration to shut down its $250 million Andrews project in St. Joseph with immediate effect. At the end of a 25-minute hearing yesterday afternoon, Madam Justice Pamela Beckles upheld an application brought by Andrews Great House owner Emil Elias for an interim injunction to stop any further work on the Andrews factory site or development of any lands related to the venture. Chief Town Planner Mark Cummins and Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite were named as the first and second respondents. The court also granted a second interim injunction prohibiting Cummins and Prime Minister Freundel-Stewart in his capacity as Minister responsible for town planning from granting permission to any related work to be undertaken at or around the site. Both injunctions will remain in place until April 27. That's when the parties are due to return to court. Elias's attorney, Ibrahim Laki, told Barbados Today he plans to turn up the heat on the Andrews project when the case resumes.
So basically, the town planner and the attorney general would be restrained from issuing permissions and continuing works until the 27th of April. Then we're going to come back and try to get further injunctions and or renew these, and naturally don't want to defend it.
Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite has told the legal fraternity that government is tightening up on checks and balances of their operations. Brathwaite was addressing a meeting last night of Impact, a project designed to improve opportunities for justice. He told the lawyers there is a need for better regulations given the strong public criticism of attorneys.
I'm putting you on notice that with or without your cooperation, I will take a new legal profession act to Parliament before the end of the year. That is my promise and that is my pledge to you with or without your cooperation. But I want you to cooperate. I want you to focus on the areas that I've mentioned. The area of discipline. You know that the bar has taken a significant beating over the last couple of years. You just have to listen to any calling program. We need to improve in that regard. The public needs to feel that when there's a complaint to the Bar Association that is receiving your attention and is receiving impartial attention, they have the ability to have a fair hearing before a disciplinary body. Again, I want your feedback because it is in your interest, it is my interest for us to get it right.
A St. Michael man is due in court today on several charges of theft, burglary and assault. 38-year-old Ricardo Sylvester Knight is charged with burglary, 2 counts of robbery and 10 counts of theft, as well as assault with intent to rob. Police say the offences were committed between January 2015 and April this year. Knight's victims were mainly women. And our Today's Touch program headed to the Bosco Bell Primary School in St. Peter this morning, where former West Indies and Barbados cricketer Corey Collymore presented 4 bats to the school's cricket program. The former student of Bosco Bell said he was honoured to be giving back, and he also brought under-19 champion Shamar Springer to present 2 of the bats as a surprise to the students.
I went to school here, and I just think it's always good to give back to where you started. And this is where I started not only my education, but my cricketing career. I'm just about to make a small donation. Sorry, in my time they were only boys, but as you heard earlier, cricket is my sport, and I'm about to present 4 bats that I know should help the boys to progress in life, and one day you'll get where I've reached.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The 50th anniversary of Independent Secretariat and the National Cultural Foundation proudly present the theatrical production From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond.
We are not slaves.
Saturday, April 16th at 6:30 p.m. at the historic Golden Grove Plantation. Come, be a witness to history.
Aye, Nanny Greg.
Enter the ritual. Feel the power.
This country will be independent. And if I have to wake up all the sleeping angels in heaven, so be it.
From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond. April 16th. Tickets $50 adults, $10 youth and children. Available at all NCF outlets and at ticketpal.com.
In news from the region, a criminal investigation is underway in St. Lucia after an 11-year-old girl was discovered to be pregnant. A relative of the child claims a 17-year-old could be the father. We get more in this report from HTS News Force.
Although the details of this potential criminal case are still emerging, legally it is an offense to publish, among other information, the names or identities of claimants or the accused implicated in sexual crimes. But News Force did make contact with a relative of the pregnant child on April 14th, who asked to be omitted from this report. The relative claims a teenaged male of the same community engaged in sexual intercourse with the 11-year-old girl, allegedly on multiple occasions. According to family, the child recently complained of stomach pains and was taken to a medical doctor when the startling discovery was made. The young girl is believed to be over 3 months pregnant. The Department of Human Services in the Ministry of Health is aware of the matter and tells News Force a course of action is being outlined.
And finally, rescuers have saved a baby and they are continuing to search for anyone trapped under rubble after a powerful earthquake hit southern Japan. At least 9 people died and more than 860 were injured when the magnitude 6.2 quake struck yesterday. We get more in this BBC report.
Video like this of a wall collapsing give an idea of just how violent the shaking was from this quake. Inside the local TV newsroom, A CCTV camera sways wildly as the building shakes. It may have only been a 6.2 quake, but it was very shallow and the shaking so powerful it could be felt in Tokyo, more than 1,000 kilometers away. It was followed by a number of powerful aftershocks, one as big as the initial quake. People were so scared, many spent the rest of the night wrapped in blankets, sleeping in the open.
I felt the ground shake vertically and horizontally.
I was unable to stand because of the strong tremors.
After hours of tense waiting, a moment of joy as this tiny baby girl was brought out of her collapsed house, seemingly completely unscathed, to the massive relief of her parents. Daylight brought a clearer picture of the extent of the damage. Scores of houses with tiles swept off their roofs. At least 19 buildings have collapsed, most of them in the town of Mashiki. 9 people are reported to have died here, and a number are still trapped.
And that's the afternoon news. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune in to Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for the latest news and sports. I am Mary Claire Williams. Have a good afternoon.